Oh, good afternoon, my Teaserking family. I got a light. Let me take care of that light. I apologize. No, I don't have the light. Okay. How's everybody today? Sorry I'm on a bit late. Just came back from a little exercise, and it's not even 9 o'clock yet. So it's getting dark like really early, like much earlier than normally it's a little bit getting dark. Now it just seemed to like 10 minutes darker. Anyway, so let's talk. Tomorrow we have the beginning of week 1. We got Ball State, Tennessee, Central Oak State, West Virginia, Pitt, Penn State, Purdue, Tech, Missouri, New Mexico State, Minnesota. Now, what I'm noticing is, hi, G, how are you? You should have your one teaser open, whoever you put Charlotte over with. That did come through for you. So good luck. Tomorrow we'll start. So let's look at line movements, what I'm noticing. So tomorrow we've got let's see. Come on. Jesus Christ. Hey, Nick. Hey, well, Utah, their line jumped to 3, I noticed. So hopefully, well, you got it in early, and that's why I make my bets early. So let's see. Tennessee's jumped from 33 to 35. We got Pitt 7.5 from 7.5. That hasn't moved. Oak State 22 was 20. So money's going on Oak State. I'm seeing the smaller lines like UCF, South Carolina State. Stay away from them. We don't know these other Division II teams, and just because they're there doesn't mean automatically. Penn State 3.5. That stays right where it's at. Missouri Tech, Missouri 20.5, up from 19, over under 59, went to 61. I did like the game over. 2 good over teams. That's the line movements tomorrow. I did notice some other line movements. For example, Indiana's down to 2.5. I could see where you'd want to tease Illinois. And you go Army, of course, go Army. I'm not playing Army this week. I'm scared of Coastal Carolina and McCall, but should be a good game. I think it'll be high scoring and probably pretty close. You don't blow out Army. Indy 2.5. So Illinois goes and kills Wyoming at home. This is at Indiana. Now, you'd think they're a live dog, and I do too. We'll see. We'll see how bad Indiana is. Again, that's unknown. Illinois, you see against Wyoming, who sucks at home. So this will be a good test for Illinois, kind of, but it still won't give us a clue because they're such a weak team. DCU 14 over Colorado. Mary 24. Mary was 20 over Buffalo's 24. Michigan's up to 30. They were 20, I think 27, I see, just a couple days ago. They're up to 30. Now they're doing a quarterback thing where Harbaugh won't name the starter. The one guy takes you to the playoff. The other guy can't. The guy sucks. And he keeps monkeying around with, well, let's see who the starter is. So that's going to me, I can understand the concept of putting up more points because, well, I want to be the starter, so I'm going to throw 5 touchdowns. So I don't know if that'll work, but Michigan normally is a strong home favorite against weak teams, which is what you got with Colorado State. Now, here's the interesting one. North Carolina has been where are they? They've been a 2.5-point favorite, are now a 1-point dog. I'm not sure I love App State anymore. I liked them as a home dog. I'm not sure. You've got to understand, it's like Vanderbilt, Hawaii. It's still ACC against Sun Belt, and ACC's got better talent. North Carolina had a bad year last year. Believe me, they are looking to get well, and for them to be a dog here is a whole new psychology, which is what I kind of preach. The psychology now, App State as a dog, okay, we'll show them, but now as a favorite, App State's freaking out. Oh my God, we're favorite over, and North Carolina's getting pissed. So this is not an automatic App State. This is now probably a pretty good tease the dog, take North Carolina. I would think psychologically they're pissed off right now, and we want to bet the pissed off teams. BC 7 over Rutgers, like BC there. NC State's up to 11.5. It's 10.5 over East Carolina. Let's see. All right, now this line, I don't understand. UCLA goes from 25 down to 23. What the fuck's going on here? I checked. This is the beauty of Twitter. You go into UCLA, there's no injuries. Robinson's playing, the running back's playing. So I'm betting the thought that because Bowling Green's got a weak defense, that UCLA would blow them out. So as far as I can see, there's no injury to UCLA. Who the hell's betting Bowling Green? So that kind of reminds me of the game last week with Utah State and Connecticut. The difference is the UConn running back for 190 yards, I see, which is still go figure, but that's why UConn was able to keep the game close. But Bowling Green, I'm not aware of any superstar they got. At least it's not in the print. It's not in the magazine. UCLA 25. So 25, I got it. I'm laying 19, I think, here. It's 23 down to 17. Now, this is today's class. Well, I'll come back to this game. Tulsa, 6.5 over Wyoming. It's down Wyoming losing to Illinois at Illinois. This is at home against Tulsa. Again, it's a whole different poker game. 8.5 over Arizona. Now, here another strange one. Georgia, Oregon. Georgia's still 17, but the over-under is now 53. I mean, I love the under at 51.5, 52. Now it's 53. Who the fuck's betting the over in this? So I'm not buying that at all. Again, a very strange line movement. Oklahoma 31 over UTEP. That was Oklahoma was 31.5. I think they were 32, so it's a little bit down. Arkansas 6.5, Cincinnati. That's where it's been. Houston 4.5 over UTSA was 6, and now it's down to 4.5, and that makes sense. UTSA, this game's dead even. Definitely like the doggy here. We'll get a real true Nebraska's playing North Dakota. No line, of course. We'll get a real good version of Nebraska this week if they lose. Florida's playing Bethune-Cookman. Nice warm-up for Van Dyke. Ole Miss, 21.5 against Troy. That's probably where it's been. Where is Ole Miss and Troy? Ole Miss, they were 23.5. They're 21.5. So people are actually betting Troy. Okay. BYU still 12 over USF. Nevada 1 over Texas State. Who knows what Nevada? They played a bad game. Weak offense. Did nothing. They were 5.5. They have a bad game against New Mexico State, and now they're laying 1. I think that's a little overreaction. They're at home, and they're playing Texas State. I got Texas State as a W. Now, Nevada's not an over team anymore. They're probably a W themselves. I'm not lining up to tease Texas State. James Madison, I have no idea this year in Division One. So we got to watch them. Florida Atlantic, 3.5 over Ohio. Florida Atlantic did beat Charlotte, a good passing team. Ohio is a what team? Ohio is a W. So they kind of score, they kind of give up. Again, Florida Atlantic's not playing in Florida, so we'll see. It's getting cool here in Detroit. Definitely not going to be Florida weather. USC 32.5 was 34.5. Again, who's betting Rice? Who sits there in their right mind and bets Rice? I think this is what all these algorithms and analytics and all this bullshit, these people betting like GameStop. Well, the line's high. I've got the line here, so I'm going to take that. It's the only thing I can think of, because nobody in their right mind who understands football would be betting Rice in this game. Utah, as I told Nick, is 3 over Florida. It was 2. I got it in at 2. It's now 3. Be careful with the 3. I still think Utah wins. Everybody's so high on this Anthony Richardson. I'm like, why? I looked at his stats. He had nothing. He had like 4 touchdowns and 5 picks 2 years ago. He's an athlete. Well, wonderful, but he's not a quarterback. Coastal Carolina 2 over Army. That lines went down. It was 3. We'll see. Kentucky 16.5. Now that line's gone down from 17. Again, makes no sense. Why would you be betting Miami of Ohio? Kentucky's a very good team. Liberty 3.5 over Southern Miss. That's right where it's been. Tulane 28.5 over UMass. Tulane, that's right where that's been. Baylor's on the board against Albany Great. What the hell is Albany Great? Division 2. So you get a Baylor box score, but it's you just throw it out. A lot of crap. See, they're trying to confuse you. Auburn, Mercer, Wisconsin, Illinois State. Ignore that, because it takes your mind away from the games that you should be betting, and these games aren't real. Wisconsin, Illinois State isn't even a Division I team, Illinois State, so you got to just ignore that. All right, Ohio State 17 over Notre Dame. Now, Ohio State's the free game, but I did warn you to get it under 10. Now it's at 17. Now you got to lay 11. I don't know what to tell you with that. I don't like to lay 11. It's still Notre Dame, although they are weak, and I think Ohio State. See, here's where the TV guys start. This is why I say don't listen to them. Oh, Ohio State, they're awesome. They're number 2 in the country. How can anybody be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? They haven't played a fucking game yet. Nobody is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And even when they rank them, they're not in the right rankings because there's too many biases and they haven't played anybody. And then if they do, so if Ohio State beats Notre Dame, probably a good win. But if Alabama beats Utah State, who barely beat Connecticut, what is that? That makes them number 1. You didn't beat Georgia. You didn't beat LSU. Come back to me when you do that. So beware the rankings. They're not real. They're, as I tell Nick, to avoid COMEX because it's not real. Yes, gold's down, but it's not really down. It's the derivatives are down. And I'll get to that too. I had a thought on that. South Carolina 12.5 over Georgia State was 13. SMU 11. So SMU money, they were 8. Now they're 9, 10, 11. I don't know. North Texas didn't look that bad. Alabama 41.5 over Utah State because Utah State barely beat Connecticut. 31-20. They were down 14-0. I would think they were looking ahead for this game. I would think it would be very hard to focus on a Z team like Connecticut. When they wanted to, they scored. At half, it was 24-14, being down 14-0. I don't know. I don't think Utah State rolls over in this game. 47.5 point with a team like this. I don't know. I would not take Alabama here. Put it that way. Memphis, Mississippi State, 1656.5. That's what the over's been at. Again, I like the over, 2 over teams. Louisville 4.5 over Syracuse. I like that's went from 3.5 to 4.5. Texas 37.5 again from 38.5. Who the fuck's betting UL Monroe? I mean, this just doesn't make sense. And I'm going to go into my thesis in 1 minute. Oregon State down to 2.5 against Boise. Here's where I can get Oregon State plus the 3.5. That's a huge point drop. Definitely like that. Kent State, Washington. Washington goes to 23 from 21.5. I like Kent 29 there all day. Western Kentucky's up to 16 from 13 over Hawaii. Again, people looking at Hawaii being that bad. But again, it was the first game with the new coach and a new quarterback against a good Vanderbilt defense. Western Kentucky does not have a very good defense. I see the over-under 67.5, which means they're expecting Hawaii to score. That went up from, Jesus Christ, that was 59.5 last week. It's up 8 points. Holy shit. Yeah, I got 59. I think I saw a 62, then it went down to 59. So from 62 to 67 still. They're expecting Hawaii to light it up. I don't know. LSU 3.5 over FSU. It's been 3.5. I definitely like LSU and my coach Brian Kelly. And last but not least is drum roll. Clemson 21.5, 50.5 over Georgia Tech. You got to love the under in Clemson here. This will be 38-0. This will be a shutout. If there's such a thing as betting on a shutout, I would take the odds and bet. I would bet the shutout here. Georgia Tech has no offense, no quarterback, and they're going against basically the Georgia defense from last year. Clemson is the it girl, 6 defensive All-Americans, not ACC All-Americans. All-Americans over the whole thing. Clemson's defense going to be incredible. They don't have a running attack, or they have a running attack, no quarterback. Look for Clemson. And I love these idiots on TV going, oh, Clemson's going to be 2. I think the quarterback will be better. Why is the quarterback? The quarterback sucks. What you don't get is he's either good or he's bad. Joe Montana was good right away. He didn't need to learn how to be a good quarterback. Tom Brady doesn't need to learn it. Aaron Rodgers didn't need to learn in college. He set a record. Cal was playing USC, and Aaron Rodgers went to Cal. And in the game, he was 24. He went on a streak of 24 for 24 straight pass completions. I think USC, and this is when USC was really good, I think they won 24-23. Or some late touchdown, but Aaron Rodgers lit it up. These guys don't need the coaching. They know what they're doing. Either you got it or you don't. Nick, who do you see making a push for the final playoff spot, assuming Georgia, Bama, and Ohio State make it? Well, I think it's going to be Baylor and Oklahoma State will be the 4. We know how good Baylor is, and Oak State. They should be the 4th. Depends how Clemson. I don't expect their offense to be that good. They could make it on name only, but I think Baylor would be the 4th best. Maybe Utah or UCLA if UCLA's defense gets better. But Utah, they're going to have it tough because they got to play USC and UCLA to win that side, and then play the whoever win. I guess Oregon, Washington. Well, Washington sucks, but Oregon or Cal's bad, Stanford's bad, that whole North is bad. So they'll have it easy, but they got to beat UCLA. So if Utah runs the table, beats USC, UCLA, it could be Utah. They have the quarterback, as we know. Just a gut feeling, obviously, a long prediction. No, well, the problem, see, I listen to these idiots on the radio, and they're like, well, the Chicago Bears over-under for the year is 8 wins. I'm going to go over. Dude, anybody that makes that bet, no offense to you guys, you got to be out of your mind. This is football, a high contact sport. There are injuries. Every game, there are injuries. I laugh my ass off when, well, let's not play the guys because they might get hurt. Well, if you want to follow that logic, I don't think Aaron Rodgers or any of the quarterbacks, let's see, Jared Goff sat out for the Lions. I don't think they should play him the whole year because he might get hurt. I don't think they should play any of the players because they might get hurt. It's just like baseball. They might get hurt. What is this with this? Everybody's so worried about a player getting hurt. Well, what the fuck is that? These are athletes. All right. They're professional athletes. This is what they do. Why are you so worried about them getting hurt? And then how many pitchers in baseball are getting hurt? Yet they're this stupid pitch count. They pitch every fifth day. Why would any of them get hurt the way they're protecting them? So I don't get any of this crap, but I would never make one of those predictions because quarterback gets hurt. All of a sudden, well, you can't even do that. Look at Miami of Florida last year. They lose 2 out of the first 3. You think, well, there's no way they're going to win. Then what happens? They bring in Van Dyke, and the guy's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. You can't see that happening either. So the coaches are stupid enough not to play their best players, but with injuries, you can't even make those bets. So if you're looking for that, I would say, Nick, wait till Thanksgiving. The odds are still out there. And then here comes Utah. They beat UCLA. Now I'll bet Utah to get to the playoffs. You'll still get 25-1, only you've already beat USC. You've already beat UCLA. Now it's just a matter of finishing out, beating BYU. That'll probably be their biggest game, BYU. They always give Utah problems. Now, back to what my thesis is. So, as I was talking, let's talk UCLA Bowling Green. UCLA minus 25. Bowling Green is a W team with a weak defense. So, I like high-powered UCLA against weak Bowling Green. What the fuck is the line going from 25 to 23? Now, what are you going to do? You can't chase the line. You make your bet based on our facts, based on what do we look for? I look for an explosive team against a weak defense. That's what I got. Why the spread would be dropping is this new algorithm crap that, well, I got Bowling Green 21 points worth, and there's no way you can do that. The season hasn't even started yet. The other thing is the other way, the Michigan going from 27 to 31. Are you going to jump on Michigan? So the first game, are you jumping on Bowling Green? Because money's going on them. Are you losing your mind and following the money? And then if you're doing that, are you now jumping on Michigan, going from 27 to 30? Why would you do that? You've got to be on your game. Pick your picks. Again, go back to the game. No point spread. Who's going to win? Pick the score. So let's pick Michigan, Colorado State. All right, I probably would say 42-10. I don't know. How good's Michigan's defense? Colorado State's got a passing offense, new coach, new quarterback, who knows? Michigan tends to blow out at home. So I would think Michigan would probably have won by 40. So when I saw 27, I'd probably be on Michigan. Now the line goes to 30. I'd probably still be on Michigan. But I wouldn't go to Michigan because I see the line move. So if we look at another game, if we look at let's look at SMU North Texas. It went from 8 to 10.5. Am I now going to bet SMU? Or went to 11? Am I now going to bet SMU because the line moved to 11? In other words, am I watching the line and then it moves and I go, somebody knows something. I'm going to join in. I'll go back to my Thanksgiving story 5 years ago when Derek Carr was at Fresno State and they were laying 7 and I'm playing poker Friday night, Thanksgiving weekend. and I've got them bet in a teaser -1. I got them on the teaser card, 6-7 team teaser -1 with Ohio State and all the other Thanksgiving Day games. I go to bed because I played poker till 6 in the morning. I get up at 11 because the games start early out there, and the line moves to 11. Now Fresno State's laying 11. I can't bet it on the board, so I go get another teaser card, and still the card doesn't move. So I go bet it in another 4-team teaser, Fresno State -1. I go, this is great. Somebody must know something. The line moved to 11. Well, nobody knew shit. San Jose State wins the game by 14 straight out. You cannot follow the herd. You cannot follow the line. If I liked UCLA and the line's down to 23, I like UCLA more because fundamentally, now if Thompson Robinson, the quarterback, is injured and that's why the line moved, that's a different story. I go on Twitter. I don't see anybody hurt. I still think UCLA is going to kill them. There's no reason not to think that. It's still Bowling Green. They got a weak quarterback and a weak defense. There is nothing. I got quarterback returning average W team. They give up 30 points a game. UCLA, very balanced, good quarterback, good running back. And let's not forget Chip Kelly. USC, same thing. Why the hell would they drop? They dropped to 33 against Rice. They're going to kill them because they want to set the point. They want to say, hey, we're here. This Oklahoma, we're going to put up 60 points. See, the difference is I'm the sharp. I know what's going to happen a lot of the time, not all the time. Hit the Charlotte over with Florida Atlantic. Missed the Utah State. That happens, not by a lot, but it was because weak third quarter because they got the ball to 1 in the 6 and they couldn't score touchdowns. Otherwise, they win by 20. We needed them to win by, I think, 21. So, again, that happens. And the Connecticut runner back runs for 190. Okay, we lost. It happened, but we still picked the winner. But that's okay. That was a very small week 1 bet. But you got to tell me a reason that you want to bet Rice. I'll take anybody who wants to bet Rice. I will take USC 33. I'll give you 33. Anybody that wants to bet it. Same thing with anybody that wants Bowling Green in 23. I'll do that. I'll take Michigan. I won't lay that, but now look at Ohio State. They moved from 14 to 17. So are you going to bet Ohio State? Well, we already bet Ohio State because that was the professor's pick last week. That's why I do them early because of this shit. I knew that line was going to move. I would have thought SC, UCLA would have moved up. Michigan makes sense. Utah, I think Utah's a 7-point favorite. They're 3. With Rising, they'll beat Florida 14 points, I think. Kentucky's a weird one that it's going down. Alabama to 40.5 is all. That's COMEX. That's price fix. That's bullshit. Utah State's a very explosive team. Let's not forget. Now, Alabama, okay, what happened? They ran on them. Really, it was the first quarter. Utah State probably looking ahead, gives up 14. The rest of the game, they only gave up 2 field goals. So let's not forget that happened. And then they put up 31 on, Connecticut, who ran the ball a lot, so they didn't have a lot of possessions. Prepare for Florida. Well, they don't have a quarterback, so they don't have much of a defense, and I got Rising, so I'm all set for that. I'm not really worried about that. Again, I think Utah's a 7-point favorite, so not a worry at all. And I'm getting 4 in my teaser, so Even if it gets close. I got 4 points with the touchdown favorite team. This is why some people go, well, you can't go over 0. Why not? So I took a -2 and got +4. I got more than a field goal. So again, key numbers: 3, 7, getting under 3. Well, I got over 3 the other way. So I got a 7-point favorite, getting 4 points. So explain to me why I can't go across 0. Somebody, please, because I never heard of it. I think it's a stupid analysis by somebody to make that comment that, oh my, you lose a point. You don't lose a point. I've got 4. That's the bottom line is I got more than 3. Now, if I was maybe 5, I'd still tease it to 1 because I'm getting under a field goal. So there's no reason I would never not tease it. Sometimes if it's even, I get 6. It's a little bit like I'd like to get a point. In a lot of games, I like to just tease the dog. So I hate when it's even. I want to get a dog. So I want to get somebody favored by 1 so I can take 7. Like App State, North Carolina. You're going to run and take App State because now they're a 1-point favorite? Like somebody knows something. App State's going to win. I'm going to lay the 1? Really? This is a tease the dog game. All right. So as far as I'm concerned, I like App State as the dog getting 8. Now, App State favorite, I like North Carolina plus the 7. It's a perfect example of taking the dog. Now, this is why we do our exercises the way we do it in my class. We take the game with no point spread and pick the freaking winner. All the bullshit that happens with the line is not a factor because we don't care. So in other words, Michigan 42-0. I don't care what the line is. That if that's what I think the game is. Now I didn't do that because they lost their pass rushers. Colorado State, I don't know how good or bad they are. I know they got a new coach. They're going to do air raid. They're going to throw it around. Usually against Michigan, it doesn't help. But since they lost their pass rushers, I'm not sure what that means. So, Michigan, they're usually good, but they lost their defensive coordinator. So I'm not laying 30 with Michigan, although I still think it's 42-0. So that's the point of it. So we've got 1 lock going. We've got 3 teasers going. So I got 8 games. We had the 1 game, Utah State, Fresno State. The artist she couldn't tease Utah State, which I don't understand. So she could tease the Charlotte over. So she's got them with somebody else. I would assume one of my locks tomorrow. She bought last week and she got week 1 with it. So that's what I usually do with this small week. I don't know why they call it 0, but we'll call it 1A, and now it's 1B. www.teaserking.com. You come and go purchase picks, and then by your package, you get a password. You go back to picks and type in the password, and you get the picks. The picks are posted. They've been posted for a while, and off you go. Now, G had a problem betting teasers, but I think she got that clear. So hopefully she won't have the same problem. But find a site that takes the teasers, but don't go on FanDuel or any MGM because the odds are bad. Never lay 13-10 on a teaser. It should be 11-10. Although now with everything crazy, who the fuck knows what they're doing to us. Ready to roll for another season. Yeah, Nick, once you learn the basics, that's what I've been trying to teach you. Once you get the basics on how to bet, what are you looking for? What are you not looking for? You're betting against Z's. You're taking A's. That's why I grade the teams. But I know how to grade them. Most people don't. Most people don't understand it. So overs, unders, all that stuff. You've got to understand it. And I do. And most people don't. So if you ever listen to this junk radio, this BetMGM radio, it's pathetic. A bunch of idiots on there. Well, I see the algorithm of, if I'm -2. I don't know any players, but I'm going to take it. Fuck, how do you bet a game you don't know players on? I don't know every player, but I know the Utah quarterback, and I know the UCLA quarterback, and the Arkansas quarterback, and SC, and Ohio State, and Tennessee, and Utah State, and Michigan. I know those fucking quarterbacks. I know those fucking coaches. I ain't going into and betting anything blindly. That's never going to happen. Not for me, not on a football game. Baseball's a little different. I'm betting the pitcher, but I still know Verlander and Scherzer and McCullough and those guys. That's who I'm betting on. I'm betting on the aces. And that's what you run. You got to find the aces and bet them. Van Dyke. Nick Hartman is going to be back. He's medically hurt, but expected back after a few weeks. So it's not a season-ending injury, which is good news, and we'll see who their backup is. Again, that could be one of those system things, but we'll see. We didn't know who Hartman was, and he came on real strong last year. So go to www.teaserking.com if you want to purchase the picks. It's on PayPal. You don't need a PayPal account. Just go in. It'll ask for your debit credit card and then just pay for the pack that you want to buy. You can email me, get my email from there, and ask me. Sometimes people want to make 2 payments. If you're buying the whole year, a week I can't help you with. It's $125 for all the games. You got to pay $125. But if you want to buy, the whole year, I can make an arrangement. Make 2 payments, maybe the month, but it's only a month, and it's $300 for 4 weeks. I really, what am I going to do there? And I don't want to be in the collection business. I don't want to constantly be emailing me, oh, you owe me money, you owe me money. So that's part of it. I just want to focus on the games and do that. But if I do make you can make a couple payments, then I'm not going to chase you. But I will expect as a gentleman that we get paid what we're supposed to. So that's week 1. Again, so tomorrow we've got Tennessee, Ball State, CMU, Oak State. Now, that'll be an interesting game. CMU can score. Might be a close game. Not sure. Oak State, they get scared when they see a team like Central. Well-balanced, strong running attack, so be careful there. Pitt, West Virginia, that JT Daniels, who sucks at USC, goes to Georgia, sucks there. Well, he's a 5-star, whatever the fuck that. What does a 5-star mean? They're grading guys playing in high school. Oh, okay. Yeah, good luck with that one. It's like grading high school baseball players. Yeah, good luck with that one. That you can almost do because the pitcher, if he can throw 98 miles an hour in high school, he can throw 98, but that doesn't mean he's a good pitcher. It just means he can throw hard, which, of course, will hurt his arm. And can he throw a curveball? So, what else? Penn State, Purdue. I'm interested to see this game. My gut tells me Purdue is a good home dog, but again, it's a Thursday night. I don't know. I mean, how strong's Penn State? Purdue, I love the coach. Good quarterback. They should score points. I think this game is close to the 24-21 is my guess. Louisiana Tech, Missouri. I think this will be a very high-scoring game. Louisiana Tech's going to an air raid. Missouri, strong offense, and neither team has a defense here. This is over against over. This should be a high-scoring. And then New Mexico State, Minnesota. Now, New Mexico State put up a big 12 against Nevada. They should get shut out. Minnesota's got a strong defense, but Minnesota doesn't have an offense. This is another 35-0 game like the Clemson game. So focus on your team, and that's what you're looking at. I can see BC, they got their quarterback back, the Notre Dame guy. I can see them just beating. I mean, you got a 7 down to 1. Now that is the money line, right? Well, I bet a money line at 250, 300. Take BC down to 1.5. BC should beat them. And you're not going to worry about, well, they'll only win by 1. If you're that good that they're going to win by 1, not 2, then I should be listening to you. So lay the 1.5 there. I like BC. Texas should kill Louisiana Monroe. We'll see. Kent State, I really like against Washington. I don't know why that line's going. They are very explosive and very balanced. They don't have a defense, but Washington doesn't have much of an offense. I do like the Fresno State coach, DeBoer. Penix was a major disappointment. He had a good year at Indiana. Last year he sucked, cost us money. Now he's at Washington. I don't think he's going to get better there. App State, North Carolina, I say that's a tease the dog. Houston, UTSA, tease the dog. Coastal Carolina Army, tease the dog, but be careful there. That's a very careful one. Utah, Florida, I think Utah. Mississippi State and Memphis, a good over. That's 2 over teams. There's a revenge game from home Mississippi State, but I don't care. Memphis is usually a very good team. They usually got very good quarterbacks, and they can score points. So I'd be surprised. Alabama, you got to be kidding me. 41.5 over a good Utah State offense. Not a great defense, but they're not a Z or they're not an over. So if they were playing, who's my Louisiana Tech, who's an over team, right? They're going to score and has no defense. That I'd be afraid of, that Alabama would score 65 points. In this case, Utah State's got a fairly good defense. I think it'll be competitive for a while. If Alabama doesn't get the 3 defensive and block punts, and Alabama's all got the bullshit offense. They're going to block a punt for a touchdown. They're going to return a punt with the fast guy. Although all these guys tend to disappear in the pros for some reason. And then Oregon State, I like. Now that would have been tease the dog, but because it's 2.5, I like Oregon State there. And then of course Clemson shut out Georgia Tech. LSU, Florida State, I think that line's too low. I got LSU 14. Brian Kelly, LSU, has got tons of talent, and the best receiver in college football, maybe pro football, Boucher. I'm praying he goes to Burrow. Then Nick, you can take Burrow's cards if he gets Boucher and and Chase and that. And if he gets those 2 receivers, he'll put up 10,000 yards in a year. So that's week 1. We'll talk more Saturday. Again, watch the line movements, but you got to have the game in your mind. Like, I'm happy UCLA is going down. Doesn't convince me not to play UCLA. It's just going, wow, I get less points to give. Arkansas 6.5 or whatever. Now, am I going to jump to Michigan because the line's going? No, but I might, because they're making this whole big deal about the quarterbacks. Well, we'll start whoever. They're 2-0 quarterbacks. We'll start the one guy this game and the other guy the next game. What are you doing, man? You cannot have 2 quarterbacks. Teams need a leader. They need one guy to lead them. You can't have 2 leaders in an army. It doesn't work. You can't have 2 leaders in a football team. It doesn't work, because then guys will, I like him, and the other guys will go, I like him, and you divide the team. I don't know what he's doing. The guy won the Big Ten. McNamara won the Big Ten title, went to the playoff. What the fuck what are you doing, man? You got your guy. Well, the other guy's a 5-star. Yeah, okay, well, let him go back to high school, and he can be a 5-star. In the pros, in college, he sucked. He sucked last year. Just got my new Burrow jersey. So excited. Well, there you go. Good for you. Enjoy it. Anyway, so 25,000 tons of gold, which is huge.